Hello, City High School families. Mr. Bacon, principal. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go through a series of slides with you to help everyone make sure that you are up to speed with the most accurate information so that you can work with your son or daughter and help them make good decisions about our shift to online learning down the stretch this school year. Before we get started, I will tell you that we know there are still many unanswered questions and things that we are working on right now. Issues such as when we will get our cap and gowns to seniors, graduation planning, senior honors, those awards, getting belongings out of students' lockers, and all that kind of thing. We are working on those issues right now. And hopefully we'll have information to you soon on all those things. If you have any questions at any time, never hesitate to shoot me an email and we'll get back to you and work on those ideas. All right, but let's go ahead and get started with our presentation today on what you need to know about online learning here at the School That Leads. Here we go. Our first slide, a reminder about members of my administrative team. All of us here to serve your family during this time. Scott Jesperson and Natalie Swan, assistant principals, Jerry Coleman, our dean of students, and Phil Hansen, athletic director, all available. Feel free to reach out to any of us if you have questions, things we can assist with. All right, let's start by talking about why do we want our kids to be engaged in the online learning options. It's a great opportunity for them to continue their education and get as much as they can down the stretch this school year. We want all of our students to give this the best shot that they can. One thing to think about is so many of our classes in school are sequential in nature, such as, let's say, a Spanish class with the different levels. By participating in online learning activities, your students will be even better off as we look towards next year, making sure they're where they need to be. But if they're not able to participate for any reason, our teachers are going to be understanding of that too. And we know come next fall, we're going to have to make sure we take students where they are and help them be successful. But being engaged in the online learning also can help make sure that your son or daughter is engaged in a purposeful activity, something positive down the stretch during this most unusual time. We know that the structure and routine of school can help students, and I really think it's a healthy, positive thing for kids to be involved in during this time. There is absolutely no risk to your son or daughter's grade point average by participating in the online classes. That is because the worst they could do is the pass option, where there would simply be no grade. They would get a pass, and that would have no impact on grade point average. And if they get a grade that will help them, that can actually boost their grade point average. So there is absolutely nothing to lose, no downside, no risk from students participating in online classes. Only positives can come from that. Another reason, of course, is just making sure that education is as rich and robust as possible. If your son or daughter has got the ACT or SAT coming in their future, certainly taking advantage of the online instruction being provided down the stretch this spring will do nothing but help them be prepared for those high-stakes tests. All right, let's focus in a little bit more on the specifics of the plan to make sure you guys understand. First of all, remember that we did have about 2 weeks of third trimester, actually 9 days of school prior to the school closure. And so for students who were passing their class after those first 2 weeks of the trimester, let's go through the options for those students. One option is the student can choose to be done with that class, to not continue and to simply take the P, standing for pass, at this time. If they do that, they will earn credit and that will not impact their grade point average at all. The other option a student may have is if they're passing their class after those first 2 weeks, they may choose to stay with the class, to take part in the activities, to do their best, to tune into the online sessions, learn as much as they can, but choose not to work for a grade. Rather, they're just going to still take that pass option. And again, that will not impact their grade point average whatsoever. The other option for students that were passing their class the first 2 weeks of the trimester is to take that online class, do their best on all their activities, and go for a letter grade. And at the end of May, they can check with their teacher. They can find out what their grade is going to be. And as long as that grade is positive and would help their grade point average, they should take that grade. That'll do nothing but help. If the grade is not where they want to see it, at that time they can just say they'll take the P for pass, and there will be no impact on letter grade whatsoever. So absolutely nothing to lose there. Now, if there were a situation, and there are just a few, where students were not passing their class after the first 9 days, and you would know that because it would be marked with an F in PowerSchool from those first 2 weeks of the trimester. If that was the case, students' options are they can withdraw from that course, notify the counselor that they do not want to continue, and a W for withdraw will appear on their transcript, or they can jump into that online class and they can start doing the work. And as soon as they meet that minimum threshold for earning credit, they can take the P for pass at that time, working with their teacher, or they can jump in and go all the way and do their best and join the online class and decide they're going to take the grade that they would earn at the end of the trimester. So all of those things are options for students. And as you will see, once again, there is no risk, no downside to kids participating in the online classes. The other thing is students can mix and match. They don't have to do the same thing in all of their classes. I know my own son, for example, who's a junior, is planning to continue in some of his classes, and there's a couple others that he is just going to take the credit for at this time, and that's fine. So if they would like to zero in and focus on a couple of classes, that's absolutely fine as well. So that is just fine. All right, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about seniors. If your senior has any questions about graduation, we can put your mind at ease on that one. Certain state requirements for graduation have been waived by Governor Reynolds, and so school districts have flexibility to take care of our seniors during this most unusual time. So basically, if your son or daughter was on track to graduate, they are going to graduate. They're going to earn their diploma regardless of what they choose to do with online learning. If your son or daughter was not on track to graduate and you do have questions, there may be some relief as well there, and we may be in good shape to have flexibility for them as well. If you have any questions about this, reach out to your son or daughter's guidance counselor ASAP, and we'll make sure we get on the same page in that regard. All right, a quick preview of what to expect from online learning. Our teachers have been told that coursework in each class should not exceed 3 hours of work per week. So they are striving to keep it within that 3 hours, no more than that, in terms of classwork each week on each class. There is an assigned day of the week for each subject area that the new lessons will come out on. It's that same schedule that we have been using. And then each teacher has been directed to offer 2 different office hours sessions throughout the week. And so we've got 30 to 60-minute office hour sessions where students can get on and communicate directly with their teachers during those office hours times, and teachers should be communicating that. All of these classes will be what we call asynchronous in nature. In other words, not live. They don't start at a certain time that you have to log on for, but rather students can work on it whenever it works best for them in their schedule. So these are pre-recorded sessions that they can access on a time frame that works best for them instead of live classes that they have to tune in for. All right, we will transition to the next slide here. A word about students that have special needs or accommodation plans. Please know that students' IEPs or 504 plans, they are still eligible to receive those services while we're online. These accommodations may look a little different during this time. And we would just encourage you to reach out to your son or daughter's special education teacher, their Success Center teacher, or assistant principal Natalie Swan, our guidance counselor, if you think you need more help getting those accommodations going to support your son or daughter during the online classes. All right. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to be shifting gears now, and my final couple of slides are about AP testing. These are for students that are currently enrolled in advanced placement AP classes. And so we'll take a minute here, and if your son or daughter is not in any AP classes, now would be a time you could sign off, because the rest of this wouldn't really apply to your family. So those of you that are signing off, thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. All right, and those of you that have your kids are taking AP courses right now at City High, stay tuned here for a couple more slides. All right, we do have hundreds of students taking over 1,000 AP exams. This is a really strong program here at City High, one of the best in the state of Iowa, by the way. And obviously this looks different. This May, the College Board, who administers AP tests across the country, are having all of these done virtually this year. The exams will fall between Monday, May 11th and Friday, May 22nd. Each exam has a specific date and time. So unlike our classes that are asynchronous, the kids can do on their schedule, these AP exams are set. There is a specific day and time. We'll have that schedule here for you in just a second, but they need to make sure that they are online at the designated time to do their test. The exams are all going to be just 45 minutes in length. They are entirely free response with open book, open note allowed this year. Students will be emailed a unique link to them to access their exam, and these can be taken on any computer, tablet, or smartphone. If you have any questions whatsoever about AP exams, you can reach out to your son or daughter's AP teacher or to guidance counselor Mary Peterson, who oversees our AP program through our guidance office. This slide, transitioning here, this slide shares the AP exam schedule. So you can pause the video, you can make sure you know the date and time of the AP exam that your son or daughter will take by checking this slide. And then just a couple of things that are student responsibilities here to talk about. Prior to test day, your son or daughter should log into their My AP account, check their email address, make sure it is correct. Seniors are allowed to verify where they want their AP scores sent, so sending it directly to their future college or university so that the credit can be issued there. Let's see here. And then just continue working closely with their AP teacher. I know our City High AP teachers are totally committed to helping make sure students are as prepared for success as possible. So we definitely want you to feel comfortable reaching out to AP teachers with any questions that you have, taking advantage of those lessons that they're offering. That's going to help our kids be very well prepared for AP exams, as we have a great track record of preparing students for success on AP exams here at City High. All right. That is just about all we've got. So I really appreciate you taking this time to tune in. I hope this has been helpful answering some of your questions. Remember, you can always reach out to myself or any member of your administrative team if you have additional questions. We are indeed in this together, and I know I speak for all of us when I say we can't wait to get back to school and see the kids in the future here next year. But for now, be safe, be smart, take care of yourself, and it's an honor to serve your family here at City High, school that leads.